Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for joining us. This is not the official beginning of the concert. However, this is our pre-introduction. We've been very fortunate to be working with our development coordinator, Tom, and over the last year, he's done some incredible work developing relationships with a lot of foundations and some corporate sponsors. And tonight, we are very fortunate to have built a relationship with Gibson Gives, the foundation that does donations on behalf of Gibson Guitars. And we have a fantastic guitar student in the house. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you all to give it up for Mr. Nigel Valle over here. And testing, 1, 2. And I'm very fortunate to also work with Nigel over at the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts. And it's been a pleasure working with you. And I couldn't think of anyone more fit to receive this sweet, sweet, sweet guitar. So this is a donation made on behalf of Gibson Gives and Kramer Guitars. So y'all give it up for Mr. Nigel. And we're going to give him a guitar, a sweet Flying V guitar. So, Nigel, will you please open this guitar for everyone? Because this really fits his personality perfect. Whoa. Perfect. Yeah, show it to the people, Nigel. Show it to the people. Yeah. So once again, we'd like to thank Gibson Gives and Kramer Guitars for the wonderful donation. Yo, you want to get a shot of Nigel and I? Killing. Nigel, would you like to say a few words? Oh, you do? Oh, okay. Hey, keep it short and PG, please.
I just want to thank Gibson Gibbs and Sanaa Music Workshop for giving me an amazing opportunity to study about the music industry and business, and I'm very fortunate to be here. Thank you.
Nigel Valle. I'm going to pull up my notes. I have so many things to say here. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for joining us this evening. We really appreciate all of you all taking time out of your day to come see all the hard work that these young people have been doing over the last 2 weeks. And I really think that this is just the tip of a huge iceberg, right? This is years and years of hard work. And, you know, all of you all, again, I need to commend all of you, the parents, grandparents, families here, because you all raised some absolutely incredible, incredible young people. And I think all the teachers were raving about how incredible this group of young people were all week. And if I was to, I mean, I did hand select all these kids. But just for the record, it was just absolutely incredible and such a pleasure to work with all these young people. And I just wanted to thank you all so much for doing such a wonderful job in getting them to this point. So, yeah, y'all give it up for yourselves for making this happen. All right, beautiful. First one. My name is Gregory Agid, and I am the artistic director of Second Line Arts Collective. And first and foremost, we want to thank the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation for having us and hosting us at this wonderful space. We want to thank Jason in the back. Thank you so much to Khalid and all the faculty and staff for allowing us to use your space. This is an absolutely wonderful space. And we are very privileged and honored to be able to use this. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful place to perform. And, you know, again, something that we think is really important is to create a pre-professional environment. This is the most realistic thing to being on a gig possible. And being able to play here is, you know, a privilege for all of us. So thank you so much for everything you've done for us. I also would like to shout out the board. We have a couple board members in the house, and without you all, this would not be possible. So we'd like to thank Paul Saputo in the back, our board president. We have Miss Crystal Sims in the house, and we also are joined with, we have Charles Gaspard and Ashley Shabankare, who are actually unavailable this evening, but also very, very important in developing what we do here. I'd like to also shout out my partner in crime, Mr. Darian Douglas. He's the executive director of Second Line Arts Collective. I asked him about 15 times if he wanted to say something, and he kept telling me no. So maybe at some point he'll change his mind and he'll come up here. But without Darian, none of this would be possible. And he's one of the hardest working, most dedicated, driven individuals I've ever met. And this would not be possible without his hard work. So y'all give it up for Mr. Darian Douglas in the back. I'd also like to send a special thank you to Tom. This year is the first year we've been working with a development coordinator, and he has raised so much money for us, built these relationships with corporations and different companies. We have a list of our sponsors over here. We'd like to especially thank Isotope for a donation, and we also have a couple items for auction. We'd like to thank Hotel Indigo for sponsoring a hotel room for our guest artist and Mr. Douglas. Again, we'd like to thank the Jazz and Heritage Foundation for their grants, and again, Gibson Guitars for the generous donation of the guitar for Nigel. This year, we have some fantastic combo instructors, the great Scott Johnson, Amina Scott, Steve Lands, Max Moran. And you all, yeah. All four of these individuals are some of the hardest working, most in-demand musicians on the scene right now. And they're so in the scene that Max and Steve are not able to join us tonight because they both had to fly out this morning for a gig this weekend. So tonight, we're going to have Scott and Amina leading their combos. And we just want to shout out Max and Steve for all the hard work that they've done over these 2 weeks. This is the first year we've had interns. Again, this is going to be our 6th annual music workshop, and so this is the first time that we've actually had alumni who are old enough to work with these young people. And so I'd like to shout out all of our interns. We have Christian Meacham, and he's going to be playing bass with the first 2 combos. Cam Clark, Jacob Hubbs, Jacob Peffer, Carl TX, and our new intern, Miss Gabrielle Guidry. And all of these students, except for Gabrielle, are alumni of our program when we were back in person before COVID. And so this is a very special night because this is our first evening after COVID. In the last 2 years, we have been doing virtual programming online. So we're really, really, really excited to be back in person. And we really thank you all again for being here. For those of you who don't know, Sanaa is the Swahili word for work of beauty or a beautiful piece of art. And Sanaa was founded in 2017 by Darian Douglas and I. And the aspiration of this program was that we wanted to create a pre-professional workshop for all the talented and hardworking musicians in New Orleans. You know, Darian and I are professional musicians, and we've had the great fortune of traveling the world, playing on some of the top stages with the top acts. And, you know, every day I reflect on how fortunate I am to live my dream. I'm going to try and not cry tonight. So I was gifted this opportunity in summer camps myself, and so we felt it was fit to repay what we were given. New Orleans is one of the most important places in the world. All American music comes from this city, right? And all of you all know that. But the money does not stay here, right? We also know that. So we have all these wonderful musicians, people like Jonathan Baptiste, Terrence Blanchard, Wynton Marsalis, who are some of the best musicians in the world, but had to leave this city to build their career and also achieve their financial aspirations. So one of the things that we really wanted to do at this workshop was create an intensive artistic environment and also deal with the music business, right? These kids need to understand branding, marketing, how to use social media, how to make spreadsheets so they can keep track of all their money. And that's so important, yeah. How to do your taxes. I feel like the tagline of this camp should be like, we teach all the things they should have taught. But yeah, all these things weren't being taught to us, and over the years, Darren and I had to work it out, and we figured that maybe it'd be a good idea to help these young people learn about it in school so they don't have to work it out the hard way themselves. Over the last 2 weeks, we've been doing a lot of work to come down to 4 values. Everything we do here is a reflection of one of our 4 values. So the values are growth mindset, proactive perseverance, economic empowerment, and community and tradition. So these young people can tell you on the way home what all those things are, because we've been drilling it into them every day. And part of what we do, I also want to shout out all the guest artists who came. We got Mr. Roderick Paulin in the back. Yeah. He was actually our first guest on Monday last week, and he came in and did a wonderful presentation on the stage about the ins and out of being a professional musician. And we all learned that no one wants to hear 26-2 at their wedding, right? We'd also like to shout out the great Jesse McBride over in the back. He was one of our guest artists last week, or a couple of days ago. So again, in building community and tradition, these young people are building relationships amongst themselves, right? I was very fortunate to become part of the Michael Bublé band because of a relationship I built in college. So all these young people, in 5 years, they're going to be calling each other for big gigs, right? And we hope that these relationships are beginning here at this camp. And we also hope that these young people can call people like Roderick Paulin, call people like Jesse McBride, and hopefully they'll be on the gig in a couple years. But that's all the time I have, and we're going to keep with the schedule here. And so thank you all so much. It really means a lot to me. It means a lot to Darian to have you all here. Thank you so much for supporting all these young people. And y'all need to be prepared. They sound so good, right? That's an understatement. They sound so good. So y'all enjoy. Thank you so much, and we'll see you at the end. Thank you. Also, there's a silent auction. All right, I'm out.
Check, 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 check. How y'all doing? Thank you all so much for joining us. And this is they didn't name the combo, so we'll just call it combo, I don't know, X or something, you know. We're going to introduce the band. We just heard from Reginald Williams on alto saxophone here. Also on alto saxophone, we have Chris Pouncey. On keys, we have Mr. Henry Ginty. On the piano, we have Mr. Money Brown. And we have two of our interns filling in for us. We have on the electric bass, Christian Mitchum. And on the drum set, we have Mr. Carl Tietze. And there was a tune called Sidewinder. So the next tune they're going to play for you all is called Lady Bird. We heard from Reginald and Chris, also on alto saxophone, taking the solos here, and that was a tune called Lady Bird. And for the next tune here, we're going to do a tune. This is actually Henry's favorite tune, so we'll do a tune right here called "The Chicken." Yeah, I think everybody got some on that one. So we had Reggie, Chris, Harry, and the Money got a little piece of that. It's called The Chicken by Pee Wee Ellis. And now we're going to close out with one tune. I won't tell you what it is. You will hear it because they got some stuff going on in it. But it was a pleasure working with this group. They had great chemistry. They started off, most of them complete strangers, and by the end of the 2 weeks, they're friends. You know, they eat lunch together, hanging out, just talking, you know, and we playing Uno. We beat them at Uno, by the way. We playing Uno together. Yeah. Had the staff, we just kind of, you know, that's 6 years reigning. You know, we the reigning champions. So they're, you know, no, sorry. That's just how it is. So it was a pleasure. Thank you all for letting your people attend this camp. We're honored. This is, I mean, it just keeps getting better and better. So they're going to close out tonight with, they'll tell you about it. Check, check. Give it up for him, y'all. Give it up for him. Yeah. Give it up for him. Sitting there with him, Reverend Roderick Paulin, y'all. Give it up for the Reverend Roderick Paulin. We got Reginald, Chris, Henry, Amani, Christian, Carl. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate that. Thank y'all.